What is a youth shed? That's an interesting question.
For me, really, it's somewhere that you can go and you can leave all your problems at the door, come in, have a good time and just be yourself and do what you want.
Youth Shed is a safe, secure environment for members of the community to go to and turn to at any stage of their life, even if they're going through a good patch or a bad patch. It's just there for someone to turn to the time of need.
I thought it'd be a good opportunity for me to give something back to the community, I guess.
It's a safe space for young people to work with positive role models, to do a bit of learning that's not in the usual traditional classroom. At the beginning, it was I met with a young man who was going off the rails a little bit, and I was asked to meet with him and just try and engage him a little bit in something. And at the same time, I was working with the guys in the Havod unit at the hub, and I thought, wouldn't it be great to mix the two? So I set them a task. I asked the group to research antisocial behaviour and the causes and effect. And once they'd done that, we started looking at how could we do something in Denby that would help young people, providing them a space to hang out and do something productive.
A lot of these kids can have had trouble or just not enjoy the standard school environment where it's dictated to you by someone who you're not particularly familiar with or who is an authority figure to them. Whereas this way they can learn from people who they trust and who they consider friends almost, so that they can, and their role models, so that they can learn from them, and I believe that will create a much more engaging environment for them to learn these practical skills that they want to learn and that may in some way have personal meaning to them.
I feel as if what's exciting about it is that obviously the youth they haven't really got a outlet for them to go to, so I feel as if letting them do this, perhaps obviously if you see changes in people and seeing them progress in a better way, perhaps that's quite exciting in itself.
No two youth sheds will look the same. Each one will look completely different depending on the young people that are starting it up.
As part of the shed, when we first received it, there were holes in the wall, so we've had to put a bit of plasterboard up to level the wall out. We've also then had to plaster over that. We've had to paint the walls. So as a group we've got together, we've been taught how to make up the plaster with all the proper equipment. Once that was all done, once we had a nice smooth surface, we were able to paint, and we've recently been planning to put in a mezzanine, which is a second floor, more or less, that's going to be a social area for the group.
The project has gone way beyond what I was ever expecting. Initially, it was just going to be a little woodwork project for a couple of youngsters, that was it. Allowing the other youngsters to develop it, it's turned into this youth shed project, so it's gone well above what I was expecting.
I've been in charge of the blogging. The group, when it was just me, Neely and Jake, took part in a trustee course, which was related to the project. We did volunteer work and then we took part of Ithaca.
We got to promote what Youth Sheds is and talk to other people and talk to some really nice people actually, and some people actually decided that they would help to fund different ideas for Youth Sheds, which is really cool.
Stuff that you could be learning is you could learn practical things, how to put up a shelf, for example, or how to make a table, or even how to fix your car or work on your bike sort of thing. But it can also be if you wanted it to be, it could be IT skills, or it could be movie, making music. It could be you could have anyone in that could just show people how to do anything. I guess it's infinite.
To become a shedder, you don't really need any skills. You gain skills whilst taking part in the project.
Based on the initial youth shed, and what I've seen is that the young people there really took ownership of the youth shed model, and what I wanted to do is tap into that sense of ownership.
The whole Denby lot have been absolutely great. We've been doing events with them, so we've been going to their shed, they've been coming to ours. They've told us a lot about the problems that they've had in their shed just in the setup and everything like that. We've taken those on board and we've tried to when we've tried to design our shed, we've tried to design around those problems so that we don't encounter those problems.
One of the girls, actually, Kira, she said that it felt like a bit like a family. You said family.
And we get to see each other through our own eyes and not the eyes of the camera lens or through Facebook, and we get to have a different aspect of life, not just on phones, and we get to focus right back down to earth in what was happening in the present and where our space is, and get to realise what's actually happening in the world and not just on a phone.
I think all coming together is really important because you need to work together and eating together, you get them talk, you're discussing, and it's just being natural in everything, which I think is really important.
Mainly for me, I just want to see it, thrive and see people come in and be like, yeah, this is where I want to be, and at the end of it, people turning around to us and saying, you've helped, this is a place I feel safe here, I like it here.